wearing the MAGA hat, not shaking hands with a black person.
Right.
And that's when I thought, you people don't know MAGA people.
Nope.
I mean, they have their issues, and I certainly have my issues with them, but they're general. I mean, of course, there's some racists everywhere who are that bad, but generally, all the MAGA people I know have no problem shaking hands with the black person. You're just hysterical, and you're not.
Bill Maher just took a shot at Tom Hanks, and Hollywood is paying attention. Get ready, Bill Maher just fired off a message that has Hollywood buzzing, and the target, none other than Tom Hanks. As many of you know, the entertainment industry tends to lean hard in one political direction, often sidelining or silencing voices that don't fall in line. But things are starting to shift. Maher is leading the charge. Today, we're breaking down exactly what he said, why it's striking, a chord with so many Americans, and what this could mean for the cultural conversation going forward. Whether you agree with him or not, one thing's for sure, Bill Maher doesn't hold back. And this time, he's calling out one of Hollywood's most beloved icons. I'm your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream. Before we get into Maher's fiery comments, let's rewind to the moment that started it all. Tom Hanks' latest appearance on Saturday Night Live. Here's the clip that lit the fuse.
Well, thank you. Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
Oh, no.
like that.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You welcome in Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it White Jeopardy.
No. We don't need it. We don't.
It's obvious this was a ridiculous and tasteless display, not clever, not harmless. Despite how foolish it may appear, it's actually calculated. This is propaganda designed to plant a very specific idea that if you're white, support Trump, vote conservative or Republican, or identify as Christian, you're automatically labeled as racist. That message is deeply unfair and, frankly, disturbing. Some people will brush it off, saying, relax, it's just a joke, or it's just comedy, no one takes it seriously. But that's not true. Media, including comedy, shapes public perception. Just like a powerful film can influence the way someone thinks about life, politics, or morality, so can satire and late-night segments. Even if it's wrapped in humor, the message still lands. And that's why it matters. Now, let's hear what Bill Maher has to say about all this.
Who's doing what?
For example, the whole deplorable thing.
Oh, sure.
They're still doing
Yes.
that. Even when listen, I've met Tom Hanks a couple of times, and he was very kind and very lovely, and his wife was exceptionally lovely. But when he was on Saturday Night Live...
I hated it too, and I said it on my show. I know.
What?
I hated it. Wearing the MAGA hat, not shaking hands with a black person.
Right.
And that's when I thought, you people don't know MAGA people.
Nope.
I mean, they have their issues, and I certainly have my issues with them, but they're general. I mean, of course, there's some racists everywhere who are that bad, but generally, all the MAGA people I know have no problem shaking hands with the black person. You're just hysterical, and you're not helping. And
Nope,
I agree.
not at all.
That was
Deplorable squared.
Not helping.
Nope.
And
I don't get it.
you know.
This is the part where I'm like, is this Titanic?
You're just, but mostly what I hate is, it's what I call a zombie lie. Don't lie to me. It's a lie that MAGA people won't shake hands with. I get it, it's part of a skit and it's an exaggeration and that's comedy. It's a little too delicate a subject to just make, to go there for that one. So,
It's also just not funny. Good comedy usually works because there's at least a grain of truth behind the jokes. Behind the joke, something real that people can recognize or relate to. But that's missing here. In reality, most Trump supporters, Republicans, or people in the MAGA movement, however you want to label them, are generally kind, tolerant, and welcoming. In fact, I'd argue that sometimes they're almost too accepting. There are moments when a more grounded, perhaps even tougher perspective is necessary, something that reflects the complexities of human nature. I won't go deeper into that, but the point stands. The stereotype being pushed isn't just unfair, it's completely detached from reality. Asterisk.
We all in comedy step over the line sometimes or do one that they want to take back. I doubt if they want to take that one back. I think they probably think it's great. But I'm telling you, as a liberal, I don't like it. Again, because lying offends me. I'm a comedian. When the premise isn't real, the joke is not going to work. The premise has to ring true. That premise doesn't ring true. It might have rang true, I don't know, X years ago. It doesn't now. So, but that's where we are. Everybody has to just play the hate card because that's what gets clicks. That's what gets you loved by your side.
Right, your side, 100%. And there's safety there.
They just want to feel that, oh yeah, that's right. That he's Hitler. Let's go right to your devil.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening there, pushing a narrow ideological worldview and using comedy as a tool to influence public perception. And unfortunately, it works on a lot of people. Some see that kind of shallow humor and walk away, thinking, yeah, Trump supporters must be awful racist, extreme, dangerous. The comparisons are often absurd and lazy, yet they still shape how people view others. Now, to be fair, Bill Maher, despite clearly having strong feelings about Trump, does make an effort at times to be balanced. And in this case, he deserves credit for calling out something that crossed a line. He's not alone either. It wasn't just him or Jillian Michaels criticizing Tom Hanks. Plenty of other voices joined in as well. Let's take a look at what Megyn Kelly had to say.
Reasons that we've gone into and don't need to here, but there was that piece of it, and then there was how deeply offensive it was for Tom Hanks in particular to participate in this skit. Tom Hanks, who started off on this stupid show called Bosom Buddies, which maybe it was ahead of its time because it was about two men who dressed as women in order to get the living arrangements they wanted. So it was guys dressed, sort of in drag. And he was hilarious and he was a nobody. And it was a stupid show that made us fall in love with him because he was so funny and bumbling. And then parlayed that into a film career with great films like Sleepless in Seattle, where he was a romantic lead, and Big, where he was a kid in an adult's body, and Philadelphia, where he was a big-time lawyer suffering from HIV/AIDS. Like all these amazing, Forrest Gump, which was seen around the world, and everyone said the same thing. I love Tom Hanks. I love Tom Hanks. And in thanks to a nation, of audiences that included those guys who look like that, with the t-shirt, without the sleeves, that are maybe a little rough around the edges, who aren't as coiffed as he is with the perfect 3/4 zip, sweater, with their MAGA hat on. And yeah, Tom Hanks, their Southern rural accent, you absolute effing snob, went to your movies and made you a billionaire. And your thanks to them is to mock and belittle them in the 2 minutes you had to portray what they might be like. Shame on you.
Megyn Kelly made a great point. It's largely every day. Americans, especially those with traditional values, who've helped build the careers of people like Tom Hanks. And that leads to what may be the most important takeaway. We need to stop supporting people and companies that openly disrespect the values we hold. The left has long understood the power of boycotts. They're unapologetic when it comes to canceling anything that challenges their narrative. It's time for those on the right to take that same approach, strategically and effectively. Think about it. When have we seen a truly impactful boycott from the right? Not often, but there was one major exception, the Bud Light boycott. That was recent, maybe 2 years ago. It happened after Bud Light partnered with Dylan Mulvaney, a biological male who identifies as female, and many consumers felt the brand had crossed a line. The public response was overwhelming. People said, "Enough, we're not supporting this." And it worked. Bud Light's sales took a major hit, heads rolled in the marketing department, and the campaign was scrapped. That's proof that organized, focused action can make a difference. There's no reason we can't apply that same energy to other major players, whether it's Disney, certain Hollywood figures, or any brand pushing an agenda that alienates millions of Americans. It just needs to be thoughtful, united, and persistent. That's the takeaway for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, drop a comment below, let us know what stood out, what you'd like to see next, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time. God bless.